Unless you've been living under a rock, you've heard of this thing called AI. Everyone's talking about Gemini and DeepSeek and ChatGPT and all these other cool tools, and they're great. But if you're working in Excel, you need to bounce back and forth between those two things, right? Well, actually you don't, because there's this other thing called Copilot. And Copilot has been a little bit slow to the game, but it's getting more and more powerful every single day. In today's video, I'm going to show you a couple of Copilot AI hacks that you can use in everyday Excel work. Check it out. We're going to start off with this very, very simple data table, and we're going to see what Copilot can do with this data. So we're going to highlight the data table, and we're going to use this Copilot tooltip right here. And the first thing we're going to do is ask it to suggest some conditional formatting. So let's see what it does. All right, so down here it's working on it. All right, and it suggests a couple of ones here. Really the one that stands out to me is highlight top 5 in column units sold. That seems to make the most sense. It's going to suggest some other things that maybe are interesting but don't really make sense with the context of this data, so I'm going to go with this one here. So I select, let's see what Copilot can do with it. All right. Okay, so it came up with this rule to apply yellow formatting with black text anywhere for the top 5. I could probably go back and forth with it if I wanted to and change that, but let's just see what happens when I click apply. There we go. So it applied the conditional formatting rule, and if you're curious, you can go up here to conditional formatting, manage rules, and you'll see that it actually created the rule for us. So we can go in there and modify it if we want to. That's pretty cool. All right, what else can Copilot do? Select the data, and let's see if it can summarize the data using a pivot table or chart. Okay, so it's going to think a little bit over here. It's analyzing the data. And there we go. So it created the pivot table for this chart. It says summarize the data, etc. Okay, we can go a little bit further, use deeper analysis with Python. But for now, I just want to add this pivot table that it seemingly created to my workbook. So I'm going to add to a sheet, and there we go. So it actually created the pivot table that's connected to that data table that we have here, and that's another pretty cool feature. So it can create pivot tables for you. So these are just examples of things that Copilot can do right now. I am sure that it's going to continue to get even more and more powerful, but this is something that should be on your radar if you're interested in merging Excel with AI.